Okay, I put on my Facebook page some time ago. Uh, a buddy of yours convinced you to invest in his business, and he ended up selling 495% of his business. So let's answer some questions that I put on my Facebook page. You can't sell but 100% of anything, but anything can be increased to more than 100%. So it's time for some mathematics. We have not done this in a while. Okay, here is a great example for you all that don't see any need for education outside of the hood. Let's say you have a buddy. You've been knowing this guy for several years, and this buddy asks you to invest in his business. He shows you paperwork and impress you to purchase 5% of his business for $1,000. The paperwork says his business is projected to be worth $150,000 in a couple of years. At 5%, at this rate, you gain $7,500 in 2 years, which looks pretty good. Okay. Later on, you discover your buddy is a cheat. Your buddy has sold 495% of his business to various investors. As you know, you can only sell 100% of a business. Now, another businessman comes to you and says he will buy your 5% from you for $2,000 because since your buddy illegally sold 495%, your investment is no longer worth 5%. What you need to answer is this. How much is your investment worth currently since 495% of the business has been sold? Now, all the other investors want their cut. Number two is the business is now worth $150,000. Should you cash in at the reduced worth or take the $2,000 offered by the businessman? Okay, these are the questions we need to answer. And we saw those on the previous page. If you don't know mathematics in this land, you may be somebody's tool to their success. Many people go out to buy a car and get the car they desire, sometimes even an exceptionally nice car. But they pay an exceptionally high interest rate because they lack high school math knowledge. Don't be that type person. Remember this, you'll speak the language of the people you hang out with. Let's tackle this first question above. How much is your investment worth currently since 495% of the business has been sold? Okay. Since we know we can't sell more than 100% of the business, let's do a ratio. We have 100% is to 495% as X is to 5%. Okay. What this says is 100% of the business before the sale is to 495% of the business after the sale. And this, we say, is equal to sum X of the business before the sale is to 5% of the business after the sale. When we set these two ratios equal, we have a proportion. Now we can solve for X. Because after the sale, you're supposed to get 5%. But since 495% was sold, X represents the new percentage you get. Let's tackle the second problem. Okay. How much is your business worth? Okay. Let's change the percents to decimal and solve the ratio. So we have 100% divided by 495%. That's equal to X divided by 5%. We change those to decimals. So that's 1 divided by 4.95 equals X times 0.5. Okay. So 1 over X is equal 4.95 times 0.5. But I didn't put the times 0.5 there. If I multiply both sides by 0.5, I want you to see this reduction. X is 20.2% reduction at 100%. So therefore, 0.202 times 0.05 equals 0.0101. Or this 20% reduction has reduced your 5% to 1%. What I did here was I did this 1 over 4.95 first because I want you to see what that was gonna reduce to. Then I multiplied by the 0.05. See, right here, what I should have done is multiply 0.05 and 0.05. Okay. Now, these 0.5s cancel out. Okay. And that leaves you 1 over 4.95 times 0.05. And that's what I did. I just took the long way around because I want you to see that 1 over 4.95 is that reducer of 20%. Okay. Okay. So instead of 5% at 100%, you get 1.01% because 495% was sold. Okay. So that's 0.202 times 0.05 equals 0.0101 or 1.01%. Let's tackle the second problem. The business is now worth $150,000. Okay, this guy, your buddy, has skipped town with all of the money, and everybody's gotten together and sold the business, the land, the building, the typewriters, the chairs, and so forth, and you all have come up with $150,000. Okay, should you cash in at the reduced worth or take the $2,000 offered by the businessman? Okay, since your share at 100% is only 1.01%, let's calculate that and compare it to $2,000. So 0.0101 times $150,000, that's equal to $1,515 and probably 15 cents. So the profit is $1,515 minus your initial investment, which was $1,000, and so that leaves you a profit of $515. Okay. The businessman's offer is $2,000. So the profit is your offer minus your initial investment, which is $2,000 minus $1,000, which is a profit of $1,000. So if you take the businessman's offer, you profit $1,000. Let's put this in a chart and look at the 495% sales. Let's open up an Excel chart. Okay, we have an Excel chart here. Okay, we have an Excel chart here I made, and we have initial investors here, and I have 21 investors, and I have you, your buddy, have you as the first investor. So we have the percent investment sold. Okay, so we got 5% for you, and the amount invested is $1,000, and the proposed company future worth is $150,000. And your proposed future investment worth is $7,500. That's 5% times 150,000 is $7,500. Okay. But since our buddy, if we look at the addition of all of the percentages he sold 495% of the business. To you, he sold $1,000. And after he saw how easy it was to sell to you, he decided he was going to sell 25% to 19 other people for $10,000. And then on the last person, he sold 15% for $5,000. So if you add up all of these percentages he sold 495% of the business. And the amount that people gave him, including your $1,000, is $196,000. So he got $196,000 from investors, and then he skipped town. So he said 2 years from now, his business was going to be worth $150,000. And so 2 years from now, after you all invested $196,000, he was going to have to pay out a total of $742,500. And here's our reducer, which we calculated. The reducer is 1 divided by 495%. Okay. And then we multiply our reducer times our percent invested. Okay. And for our buddy, for us invested in our buddy, we get 0.0101. For the people that invest 25%, we get 0.0505. And the person that invested 15%, we get 0.0303. And if we add all of those up, we see we get 100%. So this reducer brings our investment back down to 100%. But we reduced our 5% to 1%, and our 25% reduced to 5%. So if we multiply these reduced percentages times $150,000, we'll get the amounts that we will receive. So 0.0101 times 150,000 gives $1,515.50. 0.0505 times 150,000 gives $7,575.76. And that's all the way down to the last person that invested 15%. 0.0303 times 15% is 0.03 times 03 times 150,000, is $4,545.45. And so if you add up everything we have to pay our investors, we get the $150,000 as we have from everything we've sold. Because our buddy has skipped town. So he ran out of town with $196,000 because he didn't invest it in the business to build it, because in 2 years he would have had to pay out $742,500. So he took the $196,000 and went and bought a Cadillac and skipped town. Okay, so that's our reduced investment here, which adds up to $150,000. And as you can see, everybody that invested $10,000 lost money, because $7,575.76 minus their initial investment leaves them with a loss of $2,424.24. The guy that invested 15% of $5,000, he lost $454.55. You're the only one that made money. You only invested $1,000. And that's probably because he hadn't done this before, and once he saw how easy it was to convince you to invest, he decided he'd mess everybody else up and then get their money. Okay. Now, let's say your buddy decided to do the right thing and just invest 100, just get 100% of investors, invest 100% of his business. Okay, so let's see what we do. Let me click here, and what I'll do is I'll change all of these to zeros. So we got 5 investors, and we got you here. We got 5%, $1,000. Then we get 3 25% investors for $10,000, and we get our 5th investor 20%. We make him pay $10,000 also, because he's the last investor. Okay, so we only invest how much? So we add these up, we get 100%. So your buddy decided he would only invest 100. He would only sell 100% of his business, which is the correct way to do this. So the amount people invested in this business came out to be $41,000. So if he takes that $41,000 and invests it into his business, he said in 2 years his business will be worth $150,000. Okay, so in 2 years, 5% of $150,000 is $7,500. 25% of $150,000 is $37,500, and 20% of $150,000 is $30,000. If we add those up, it comes up to $150,000, just as it should, because it's 100% of the business. What is our reducer? Well, our reducer is what? Reducer is 1 divided by 100%, which is 1, as it should be. Okay. You remember last time it was 1 divided by 4.95%. But now it's what it should be, 1. Okay, so the reduced percent is our initial percentages that we invested, which is 100%. And our reduced investment payback is what it should have been, right here, which is $150,000. And this is the profits we make. So if people would have done it correctly in the beginning, this is the way it would have done. It would have worked out. Okay. Okay. A business loves mathematics. It's not magic, it's the law. I enjoyed making this video, and I hope you learned something while we work through this. Mathematics is fun. And remember, you will speak the language of the people you hang out with. I enjoyed making this video. So until next time, see you later, and thank you.